What up, everybody who talks boxing, comments about boxing, and makes boxing videos? So what I want to talk about today is boxing promoters. I've actually been seeing a lot of, this isn't nothing new, but I have noticed an increase in talking about boxing promoters with the controversial emails having to do with Golden Boy and certain things that Bob Arum's been saying, and I just want to generally talk about boxing promoters. My general consensus of boxing promoters is that I don't really know of any trustworthy boxing promoters, really. Historically speaking, boxing promoters have kind of robbed their fighters. They've kind of screwed them over royally. So when it comes to boxing promoters, I don't really take a whole lot of stock in them. I understand it's a business and they got to do what they got to do to make money, and the landscape of boxing would probably be very different if they didn't exist. So I understand that their existence is somewhat needed in the sport, but I don't see any need to thank any promoter, to be honest. Let's take Bob Arum, for instance. Yes, he has dealt with some of the best, the legends. But let's be honest, as of lately, he's been a hater. He's been down-talking fighters like Anthony Joshua and Keith Thurman. When we know that if he was promoting those fighters, he would be praising them. Like a lot. He would be capitalizing on the fact that Keith Thurman is undefeated and is a unified welterweight champion currently. He would be capitalizing and emphasizing on the fact that Anthony Joshua is 19 fights into his career, has the IBF heavyweight title. He'd be capitalizing on all that. But because those fighters are signed under competitors, he's acting like they ain't shit. Really, the only promoter I know of that doesn't talk shit about other fighters not in his stable is Al Haymon. And that's really only because Al Haymon doesn't do interviews. I have to say, it's like I said, I don't trust any of these promoters, but I have to say that when it comes to being smart, I think currently Al Haymon is the smartest one out of the bunch. Stays out of the public eye, doesn't do interviews. I highly doubt he even makes the fights, to be honest. This is just my theory. I don't know. I'm not claiming to know that this is how things happen, but my theory is Al Haymon did all the work as far as, making moves to make PBC happen, to get it up off the ground. But I doubt that he really makes any actual decisions currently. I think he has people like Floyd Mayweather, Adrian Broner. I mean, think about it. All these fighters are promoters. You have Mayweather Promotions, Khan Promotions, About Billions Promotions. All these guys that are with Heyman, they all have their own... They're promoters themselves, apparently. I think he just sits back and lets the money come in, to be honest. But like I said, that's just speculation. I don't know. I'm not really into the whole business of boxing. I'm into the sport of boxing. But I'm not going to act like the business aspect doesn't exist. So that's my theory. I think Al Heyman probably doesn't do much as far as making matches. I think he has a dedicated team that probably does that. He's just like, this is, the budget, the names, make money. And that's why I don't really understand why we have channels thanking promoters, like just praising them like they're kings. I don't think any of the promoters really. I don't. Reason being is because the only thing they care about is the money. Only thing they care about is their own pockets. If they can do things in a way where I'm not satisfied and they're still making plenty of money, that's what they're going to do, because that's what they care about. So, to me, it's just retarded to praise Al Heyman. Oh, the great Al Heyman. Or Oscar De La Hoya. Oh, De La Hoya, you're so wonderful. What would I do without you? Bob Arum. Oh, Bob Arum. Compared to you, I'm a schmuck. Oh, I'm a schmuck. Oh, Bob Arum, please. Bless me with the presence of your Judaism. Come on now. Come on. These guys, all they care about is the money. All right? If they can get their hands on your money, they're going to do what they have to do that. And whether or not you're satisfied at the end of the night, whether it be that you bought a pay-per-view, bought a ticket to the actual event, or anything of that nature, as long as they can do that, that's all they care about. Now, as far as like these emails with Golden Boy and people, I've kind of mentioned this before, people saying that they're not going to support Golden Boy because Golden Boy has racists, apparently. Oh, no, them Southern Baptist racists. Come on now, like, I find it funny that a lot of these people act like they know what's going down. They know what's going down. They know some shit. They got a friend. There's a brother of a friend of a cousin of a friend of a friend of theirs who knows these emails were sent by, apparently, I'm hearing all kinds of things like that it wasn't even an employee of Golden Boy. You want to know my take on it? I don't give a shit. Because most of what Golden Boy puts out is shit anyways, in my opinion. At least as of late. I mean, there was a time where everything they put out was pretty good. But lately, I think this Lemieux versus Stevens was probably the best thing that they've done in a while. Khan versus Canelo, garbage. They pushed that fight to be this huge boxing, like two of the biggest names in boxing. The Great Glass Jaw versus the Cinnamon Pussy. Fuck all that bullshit, man. Like, you know who I think? I think the fighters who go in there, all right, and give it their all. I think the fighters who sacrifice time with their families, day in and day out, training for hours upon hours, and then dealing with the bullshit media who will interview them and then twist their words. And then they have to deal with that. I think the trainers who do what they got to do to make sure that these guys are ready, who also sacrifice time with their families. I mean, I guess I could thank the promoters to an extent, but come on now. Like, it's gotten to the point where it's retarded. And it's kind of stupid. Like, if like me, I've already said why I'm not supporting this Canelo versus Chavez fight. And that, if you're supporting it, that's fine. That's your prerogative. I'm not saying you're wrong. We just have a difference in opinion as to, you know, why we're going to support fights. And that's perfectly fine. I don't think you're a scumbag for it. But what I think is really retarded is this talk about we're not going to support this fight when the other fighter is a Heyman fighter. I mean, last time I checked, Chavez Jr. is a Heyman fighter. I don't think he ever, you know, terminated his contract or anything like that. So, I mean, you're kind of, and these are the channels that praise Heyman, so you're not going to support the fight because of Golden Boy. But Golden Boy is only half the equation. But it's like I said, you know, reason why I'm not supporting the fight is because Canelo, he tries to manipulate the weights and all that, and Chavez Jr., in my opinion, is just a disappointment simply because he doesn't respect, at least in the past, he's shown that he doesn't respect the sport. He doesn't respect it enough to take it seriously. But yeah, I think that these loyalties to these promoters is pretty ridiculous when all they care about is your money. You got all these people crying about racism and all this bullshit when all these promoters care about is one color and one color only. And that's green. But anyways, feel free to drop a comment. To my subscribers, anybody watching my videos, or if you just so happen to stump on this video, have a wonderful and blessed day. Peace.
I am so authentic. I'm so authentic. They try to figure me out, but this is not a gimmick. Hi, hip hop. Don't act like you don't know me. What? We got the same mama. Don't you try to disown me. I'm just a mixed breed. Call me a day walker. Cause I walk in the sun, but at night I'm a stalker. If you looking for blood, come run in my lane. The vein never runs dry. There's plenty of it, man. I speak an ancient language. They don't understand me. It's called the truth. I break it down. They try to reprimand me. Miss Lauren, she spoke it. They tried to revoke her. They drove her crazy like Morgan Freeman did to Miss Daisy. I am not insane.